Yo, what's going on, guys? Spartan here, and guys, we are back today. We're talking about none other than the exciting, awesome carnivore diet once again. So today, guys, super important. Watch this video to the end. It's going to be quick. So the carnivore diet, we're going to talk about extreme energy being the subject on the carnivore diet. Now, I just did a video on the carnivore diet, pros and cons, giving you guys the truth about the carnivore diet, how it is, all right? Why the carnivore diet varies if you're natural or enhanced. But having said that, I realized after I made the video already that I forgot or I left out something extremely important. And what is that? Talking about the carnivore diet, how it gives you extreme energy, the extreme energy you get from carnivore diet. So let's hit this home, hit this hard. There's three short but main points that you're going to want to know, and then we're going to just summarize, and that's it. So let's get into this. And if you haven't watched my other video that I just did, the carnivore diet pros and cons, watch it. It's going to be beneficial to you if you are involved at all in bodybuilding, fitness, or athletics. So guys, Seth Spartan, here we go. Number one, carnivore diet. We are talking about none other than a metabolism boost, all right? So one of the side effects of just going on a carnivore diet from a standard diet is going to be metabolism boost. Your body, you're cutting down calories, and also you're increasing protein if you're coming from more of a standard diet. So right away, cut the carbs, high protein, medium to high fats, depending on how you're dialing in carnivore. And this is one thing to note, guys, is when you're doing bodybuilding or fitness athletics, for dropping down body fat percentage, you can start your fat a little higher if you want, but then you start to drop into not super lean meats, obviously, but you can kind of dial the fat content down slowly as you're getting dialed in to what body fat percentage you're wanting to obtain, all right? So I'll get into that later, but the big component with the carnivore diet, we're talking about extreme energy boost. This is occurring because your metabolism is speeding up. You're getting a metabolism boost when on the carnivore diet. Higher protein and also cutting out carbs, your metabolism has to wake up and say, hey, we got to burn this fat for fuel that we're taking in and also rip off body fat. All right, so you're going to give a metabolism boost. And guys, one important thing to note, it's not just because of the macronutrients. This boost is also happening because if you're eating a lot of red meat, what is in red meat, guys? Lots of creatine, lots of L-carnitine, lots of B vitamins, which spike up and boost metabolism. Red meat is loaded with B vitamins. You're going to have so much energy from, as long as you're doing, primarily you're doing red meat, the beef, the pork, maybe throw in some chicken or eggs or whatever. But if you're doing mainly red meat, your metabolism is going to be ticking way up, all right? Again, B vitamins, L-carnitine, and also the creatine found in red meat. Moving on, guys. Let's talk about number two, none other than the fat burning boost. We talked about this just a little bit, but if you look at medical studies, look at the medical research. Again, I work for Prometheus HRT, testosterone HGH replacement clinic. I talk about that a lot. But one important thing with this fat burning boost, if we look into medical studies, one thing you'll note is that when people start consuming fat as their primary source of energy, or when they start consuming mostly carbs for that source of energy, the body then gets more effective and efficient at utilizing these sources for energy. And what does this mean? This means that not just you become more efficient and better at it and more effective at burning fat for fuel and fuel better, or whether you're burning fat or carbs. On the carnivore diet, we're going to be burning fat, but what this is going to do also is make your body primed, or how would I say it? Adapted. That's where we get the term fat adapted, or you can even be carb adapted. So here's the thing. When you switch into carnivore, all right, whether you're doing high fat or medium fats, again, we talked about whittling down to that body fat percentage. What's going to happen, guys, is your body, the machinery, the mitochondria, is going to get very effective at burning fat for fuel, okay? Now, this is something that takes a little bit. After about a couple weeks of doing carnivore, you're going to be feeling really good, all right? You're going to be feeling awesome, Superman. And this is what Dr. Chaffee talks about in his videos. He's a huge carnivore advocate, and this is true. So your body's getting super fat adapted for fat burning, and this is going to make your body, this is where this fat burning boost comes from. What's going to end up happening is that your body is going to be extremely efficient at burning fat, not just the dietary fat you're taking in, but also if you don't eat for a while, guess what? The fat around your torso, all right? Abdominal fat, sub-Q fat. So any fat in the body, your body's going to be a lot faster and a lot more efficient at burning it, all right? So this is nice because the calories are going to, if you don't eat it, let's say you start eating leaner meats, okay? Let's say you're doing, your high protein and moderate meats, you're going a little leaner. Once you're adapted, can't stress that enough, your body's just going to be ripping off belly fat. Easy, extremely easy, okay? And let's get into the last point, number 3. Why do we get the extreme energy we do with the carnivore diet? Number 3 is none other than no insulin, or specifically blood sugar rise and fall, or rise and dips. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Please listen to me. Don't get me wrong, okay? Please listen to this. Your insulin levels are still going to go up and down when on carnivore diet. So let's say I start out with high protein and high fats, okay? You're not going to have so much insulin fluctuation. But when you go high protein and medium fats, or even lower fats, if you're trying to, cut a little lower into meats to get off that body fat after you're fat adapted, that's extremely important. What's going to happen is that when you take in protein, let's say I eat, what's lean? Let's say I eat some lean steak. Oh, I love eye of round. That's great. Eye of round from Aldi's. Oh, that hits the spot. Let's say I eat some lean steak or chicken breast. Those are lean. Well, what's going to happen is there's not much fat in that, right? So what's going to end up happening is that just by eating that protein alone, it's going to do a similar thing as if I ate a piece of bread, okay? So what's going to happen is that when I eat leaner meats, guess what? It goes into my stomach, gets sucked up by the small intestine, all those amino acids into the bloodstream, and guess what happens? The brain sees all those amino acids, and guess what happens? Insulin spikes up. Why does insulin spike for protein? And guys, this is fundamental nutrition information, okay? So if you eat carbs, insulin spikes. If you eat a lot of protein by itself without fats, your insulin spikes. Why? Because all that protein, your body releases insulin, says jam it into the muscles. Insulin helps actually shuttle and funnel the protein into the muscle tissue, okay? It's an aid, all right? Now, those protein spikes do not have to be as big as carbohydrates, but still they're there. If you have a scoop of, the worst is whey protein isolate. It's super, super fast digesting protein. If you're going to do whey protein concentrate, not isolate. I did a whole video on that. It's much better at building muscle, burning fat, etc. Why? Isolate is just so fast. It's out of your system in an hour, so it's bad for building muscle, burning fat, and strength, versus whey protein concentrate. It's going to last up to 2 hours. So that insulin spike is a little bit less, but you're also feeding the muscles with protein for a lot longer. Okay, so moving on. So if you're eating leaner meats, you're still going to get that some insulin spike, because the insulin helps drive in the amino acids into the muscle tissue. If you're eating fatty meats, then that's minimal, okay? But that's not really the point. No insulin, blood sugar. Because like I said, if I'm eating lean meats, I'm going to get an insulin spike. But this is where the key is. Regardless whether I'm eating leaner meats or fattier cuts on the carnivore diet, what's going to happen, guys? I'm not getting the blood sugar spikes and crash, or the rise and dips in blood sugar that you normally would, okay, by eating the carnivore diet, because your body is, guess what, mainly burning fat for fuel. It doesn't affect you as much, okay? I got to say that again. When you're in a fat-burning mode, and I'm not talking about just ketosis, okay? Because once you're fat adapted your body can burn a little fat. Your body's gonna, break down a little bit of. If you're doing carnivore, let's say you're fat adapted, your body's burning fat, no problem, it's easy peasy. Your body's got the sunglasses on, it's grooving out, right? What's gonna happen, guys, is your body's able to burn fat, easy for fuel. Your body's gonna turn some fat into ketones when it needs to, and your body's gonna turn some protein into glucose when it needs to, okay? So this is gonna be happening all at the same time, and if you eat tons of fat, you'll go into ketosis, this and that, but you don't need to. So what's gonna be happening is that when you get, let's say I eat a leaner chicken breast or whatever, right? When that happens, guess what? My insulin's going to spike up and my blood sugar will drop even lower. But guess what? It's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to cause a crazy amount of hunger. Why? Because the body's just going to increase fat burning or create some ketones or even turn, gluconeogenesis. It's going to create whatever glucose it needs from the protein. So it's not a big deal. So there's no insulin blood sugar spikes. If you're eating leaner meat, you're going to have some insulin spikes, but the key here is blood sugar. No blood sugar rise and dips. If I'm doing, high carb or medium carb, low fat diet, I'm riding the wave, guys. So really, energy tired. You're still going to rip off fat and get leaner, but you're going to have a lot of, when you're not fasting, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, okay? You don't have this with carnivore. So guys, hope this explains it. I'm Seth Spartan with Prometheus HRT, giving you guys all the best information. I hope this explains to a T how the carnivore diet works for extreme energy, why this is. Guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and as normal, wishing you guys all the best. And we are out of here. Boom.